Psychology, learning, highlights of learning unit, context of learning, factors influencing learning, perspective of learning and their implication for classroom teaching, learning disability, children with special needs, disabilities, creative, inclusive, learner friendly environment. So, first learning. An individual starts learning as soon as he or she is born. He continues learning throughout his life. Learning is the acquisition of habits, knowledge, attitudes, and skills. It involves new ways of doing things and attempts to adjust to new situations. It shows progressive change in behavior as the individual reacts to a situation. It is an effort to adapt his behavior effectively to demands made upon him. It thus enables him to satisfy interests or to attain goals. Learning may be both vertical and horizontal. It is vertical in so far precision in increased or information is added to that already learned. It is horizontal in so far as what is learned is integrated and organized as a part of a functioning unit of expanding experience. Thus, the former means qualitative and the latter is quantitative in nature. Learning is expected to bring about more or less permanent change in the learner's behavior. This change may range from acquisition of a relatively simple skill, item of information to the mastery of complicated mechanical performance and application of difficult and abstract reading material. Change in response or behavior is caused partly or wholly by experience. It includes behavior change in the emotional sphere, refers to the acquisition of symbolic knowledge or motor skills. It, however, does not include physiological changes like fatigue, temporary sensory resistance, and hunger. Learning should enable us to make the least use of the things in the world around us. For example, one has to learn the art of living harmoniously with others by learning how to establish good relations with his fellows. Learning not limited to the school alone, it being earlier and continues even after the school days. Definitions of learning. So, Wordsworth 1945 and any activity can be called learning so far as it develops the individual in any respect, good or bad, and makes him after alter behavior and experiences different from what would otherwise have been. And Henry P. Smith in 1962 given a definition: learning is the acquisition of new behavior or the strengthening or weakening of old behavior as a result of experience. Hilgard in 1958 gave a definition: learning is a process by which as activity originated or is changed through reaching to an encountered situation, provided that the characteristics of the changes in activity cannot be explained on the basis of native responses, tendencies, maturation, or temporary states of the organization. Kimball in 1961 given the definition: learning is a relatively permanent change in behavioral potentially that occurs as a result of reinforced practice. Gardner Murphy in 1968 gave a definition. The term learning covers every modification in behavior to meet environmental requirements. Crow and Crow in 1975 gave a definition. Learning is the acquisition of habits, knowledge, and attitudes. It involves new ways of doing things and it operates in an individual's attempt to overcome obstacles or to adjust to a new situation. It represents progressive changes in behavior. It enables him to satisfy interests to attain goals. Calvin gave a definition. Learning is the modification of the reaction of an organism through experience. Bernard gave a definition. Learning is more or less permanent modification individual of an individual activity in a given situation due to practice in attempts to achieve some goal or to solve some problem. Principles of learning. So, learning may be formal or informal in the school or out of school. General principles of